Hey chat, welcome to the stream. You know, there's a Beetle movie in the works, and I showed some images before we really got any behind-the-scenes looks, and they looked okay. Well, here's the newest ones from the set. That's a 20-year-old Paul McCartney. Wow. And there's Lennon. And there's George. And there's Ringo. Oh no. So that's kind of what's happening there. And they do look like rotted wax figures. And I know it's probably just camera stuff. But wow. Ringo looks like he fought in the war. I know. Well, here's another one of Paul, by Paul Mescal. Well, this is Paul Mescal. And, yeah, this casting is not working for me. This is the only photo that kind of works for me, which is Barry Keoghan as Ringo. He's got some, like, light in his eyes. I know the acting is more important. And I know that these are fine actors. But when you have, 30-something-year-olds playing early 20s, which is what's depicted here in these screenshots, shit ain't working. So yeah, it's a little rough. I'm not going to be covering this movie, like, moment by moment, day by day, but I just think, honestly, it's funny that they look like zombies, and I'm going to play a zombie game tonight, and I'm expecting to see some of them. They'll be there. Yeah, no, it's a little rough. It is a little rough. Yeah. Well, I hope, again, maybe they're just good actors and that's why they were chosen, and we'll, end up with, because this is what they released. I guess they released this last week, and this definitely looks, this is smart to do this, because the comparisons are a little bit better here. Quite a bit better. More recognizable. But yeah, in those other pictures, it just smelled like rotting flesh. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Did you hear about Adobe discontinuing Adobe Animate? I don't know too much about Adobe Animate other than a lot of my friends have used it. And continue to use it, and it's... Honestly, Adobe can eat shit. Not just for that reason, but that's another good one. They already unended it. Well, good. Wow. It took, like, half a day. And then they were like, oh, sorry, we screwed up. Huh. I'm still not exactly an Adobe fan, to be honest. But, yeah. They pissed off Disney. Uh-oh, the mouse. Shit. You can't do that. Chat, before we begin... And we will begin. Just as a little preamble to the stream tonight, one more quick thing. Won't spend too much time on this, but there's a new achievement. And, a number of people have, already found it. But, it's like, look at... It looks like something's missing. So there's just a small little update that Biogenesis and Birdly did, just to, complete the picture. And I haven't actually seen this in motion. This is my first time. But you can just walk in. And brother plays. I just want to say one more thing about this game. Because, and this seems to be the song that people really connected with the most. That wasn't released as a single. So I really appreciate that. I can even show you a couple of concepts of why I learned Blender. So, I'm gonna lower this. You've heard it if you haven't. It's on Spotify, it's on all the things. So, really want to compliment Freshly Baked for being able to, like, take some of these visuals and actually redo them in, like, a low poly, lo-fi, dithered style from scratch. And this is a free update. This wasn't really done for any particular monetization purposes of they own. This is just because they, you know, liked the music and wanted to do this, and I thought it was really neat. So, yeah, just a cool thing. Now, one of the things I can show you is I really struggled with this album's cover. I did a Q&A, talked about a lot of stuff, and I like where we ended up quite a bit. Rax did such a good job with the cover. I was really impressed with the direction we went in. And I had this fucking idea of the chair and the door for a long time. But I want to let you know I learned Blender. And this was what I came up with. You'll notice it's a little fucked up. There's light behind the door. This was mine. This was my concept. Using Blender that Mono taught me how to use. And the chair and the door, I believe, was from Emerald Crow, and then textured by Biogenesis, who made the game. So, I mean, just kind of interesting how that all happened. But yeah, in this version, it kind of started working, but it didn't quite fully hit. And I had to, like, try some different stuff. I had this idea of a wave, which this one's cool too. This is some of my work, and also Cheesy Draws did some of this too. The water, which is also cool, but for me it didn't quite fit the theme of the retcon idea, whatever that means. But it's still really fucking awesome, and I just wanted to show that because it's just a neat concept that, again, didn't come to fruition. I can show you, I mean, people are gonna have preferences on plenty of stuff. Here's one that looks familiar. Just some stuff we were testing out. Lots of interesting ideas from Emerald Crow that made it into the video, even, for AV. So, it was just, it's really hard. Now, I don't want to go this mental for a cover for a while. But I'm glad that we spent a lot of time on it. I spent a lot of money on it, and I feel very happy with it, and I think I would be really happy to have that on a shelf. The final version of the cover. And the vinyl's already coming along really nicely, because it is... It's got a nice, like, thing happening. I think people are gonna like it. Here's another one. I don't know what this chair and door imagery... I mean, you might know what it means. I'm not gonna tell you. But... oh, look at that. But yeah, this is stuff that I fucked around with in Blender. Mono helped out, like I said. We got a couple different versions. And don't worry about this one. Mono made this one. You'll notice it's a little cursed. But it was too busy, and there was, like, maybe too much stuff happening in the frame. You'll notice there's some interesting stuff happening in that photo there. Here's another one that I did. Just tried so much stuff. This was the first one that felt like it was starting to kind of come along. Using assets from the AV music video, even. And eventually, I sent some of the assets to Raxmus, and we got something. I mean, he had a good vision as well of what we could do with it, and it ended up working out. Normally, I think you're supposed to present an idea like, "Oh, this was from the beginning. I had this. It's a thing." But no, this one I have no problem like telling people like, "Yeah, this was a bit of effort. This was like various iterations to come up with something that was aesthetically pleasing and not overly complicated." I tried this from again from the video, and also which was referenced in the game. So yeah, this was a huge pain in the ass if I can be honest, but I would say it all paid off for me. I don't know if other people feel the same way, but I'm really happy with what we ended up with. Here's another one. I don't know what was going on here, but I'll also show you one more thing, which is what we came up with. This was for those that don't know, this was the final one. So I'm really happy with that. And yeah. So how do I add that record there? Do I have to exit? Oh, wait, I got it already, right? I want to have the final achievement. Since this wasn't originally in the game, does this make it a retcon? Yeah? There it is. Cool. Yep. Some of these are just singles. Some are a little bit more, and they're not really in order, but they're there. They're all there. Yeah. I did it. I have now 100%ed this game. Right, Norts? Man. This is, by the way, how I got my hot sauce. Thank you, chat, for watching that.